All right, we are live. This is Becky Norwood and Michelle Weil. And Michelle is one of those single moms that has been showcased in this wonderful book that is being published and is released today. Michelle, how did you get started with Helping Hands for Single Moms? How did this whole journey begin?
Wow, it seems like yesterday, but it has been a while ago. When I first came across Helping Hands for Single Moms, I was actually a part of um, a homeless shelter in the community, and one of the volunteers there had recommended Helping Hands for Single Moms. At the time, she was part of the review board for the scholarships, and she thought that I'd be a perfect candidate. At the time, I was attending Mesa Community College part time with my daughter.
Wow, what a journey that must have been for you.
Mhm. It was. It really was.
So, what kind of an impact did Helping Hands have on you? What transpired as you got to know the organization and what they could bring, what their support that
Yeah,
they brought you?
yeah, great question. I think for me, how I was impacted initially with Helping Hands for Single Moms, it was certainly the community feel that I was most connected to. Being a single mom on campus, a lot of the times you become what we call a car to class student. You just go to your classes, you go to work, you come home. But as I got to grow friendships with the other moms in the program, I was able to kind of become more comfortable with being a single mom on campus. I felt like, I wasn't, although I was young as a mom, I wasn't mentally on the same level as other students. So it was really nice to come together once a month with other moms that were on campus that you would never know were single moms, but the organization brought us all together once a month, and we were able to build not just life development skills through the programs that they offered on those days, but then you built these awesome friendships with people that I'm still friends with to this day. So for me, it allowed me to be more comfortable in my skin being a single mom on campus, knowing that out of all these students, out of all these classrooms that I've had to go to, there was a family that I was able to connect with and feel like I was at home. I wasn't alone in this journey. So that was the initial impact that I had when I was a student.
So that must have made a huge impact for you because it can be a terribly lonely journey to, if you know, where you just feel like there's no one to talk to, there's no one to relate to, and you're struggling just to make it. There's a lot of work to study and to raise a family at the same time, and to figure a way to provide a living.
Yeah, you're right. And I think when there were those moments when you wanted to, maybe I would say mid semester, it would get very heavy weighted. Their classes would be heavy. Your work, at this point, mid semester, work is, projects are still having to go on, responsibilities still need to happen, and then you have midterms, and then you have, your final shortly after. And so it does get hard. It does feel, you do feel alone when it comes to the thoughts in your head on whether or not you should continue and pursue this journey. At the time, every semester is is like a fresh start. You feel like Superwoman all over again. And then by the time the mid semester comes, as you get closer to the end, you start asking yourself, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I could just work and take care of my family, pay the bills, but at this point, I'm working part time, I'm not making as much income. I'm working, in school, and you're making a sacrifice initially and to be uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And I think one of the things Helping Hands for Single Moms does a great job at, they know that there's a subtraction from your lifestyle because of the sacrifice you're making, but they're implementing programs that supplement that loss from programs like, something like AAA, when your car breaks down, that's devastating halfway through a semester and finals and whatnot is happening, or a test day, which is when this usually likes to happen. Your car decides to not start. But, you have your program coordinator at Helping Hands, you have Chris, Hoffman there, and the litany of groups of friends that you build to recall on for help and support. So that was definitely a plus to the program as well.
So how has it impacted you as an individual, first just on individual level, but also more as a mom? And what do you see for your children going forward?
Let's see. For me, I feel like my relationship with Helping Hands for Single Moms has evolved to a professional side of things, because I contribute through, participating on the board. And so you get to see on the other side the hard work that it takes to keep the organization afloat. And so I think at this point, if I was to speak for today, Helping Hands for Single Moms has taught me how to be accountable, how to contribute with purpose. And also it has taught me to, strive for others who were once in that situation where you were. So it keeps you humble from the perspective of, yes, I have the degree now and there's endless possibilities, but there's still moms behind me that are still in the same shoes that I once was. And so I feel like I approach the table with a humble heart of knowing where these moms that are currently in the program are coming from. And it causes me to have to keep a certain badge of honor. I can't just live my life any kind of way, because I have people who rely on my influence. I think as a mom, my daughter has seen the single parenting, coming from a single family background. I feel like I've changed the trajectory of what single parenting looks like. For me, single parenting looked like a struggle. It looked hard. It looked tired and exhausting as a child, But I think for me as a single mom, Helping Hands has made single parenting look like a superpower. We've become, popular in our circles, for doing what we're doing. And it's been encouraging to see other moms who are literally, like, I know a mom who is exactly in the same situation as I am. And it's just so interesting to be able to have those people around, and your daughter's like, oh, mom, you can help her, and that's wonderful when you're looking at her and you're like, you know what, you're right, I can, so I think also for her, it's changed her life, because she also sees education as something that there's no exceptions. Like, you have to exceed. This is who we are. Education is who we are. It's been who you were all your life. She was only, I think, 4 months when I went back to school, and now she's 13. So, all her life, she's known Helping Hands for Single Moms. And all her life, she's been to these events that has honored single parents. So being a single parent now, I have to teach her that you do have to get married, Malaya. You do want to get married. It's okay to be a single mom, but the goal is that you still have an awesome life with a husband, and you don't have to do this alone.
Make different choices, much different choices. What I think the biggest thing is changing the lives of the children to where it breaks the patterns of the past. And so they're not repeated, because you shine by example, and you've pulled yourself up from the bootstraps, and you are a different person than you were when you were first exposed to Helping Hands for Single Moms, from a homeless shelter to where you are today. And, so much credit needs to go to each one of you girls for making that decision, because if you were given that opportunity but didn't accept it, or if you didn't want to pull up the bootstraps and work hard, because it isn't, they there's so much provided for you, but if you did nothing with it, what good would it do? And if you didn't want to do the hard work, they couldn't support you with it, because it's for those that want to work hard and succeed. But look what this has done for not only your future, but also for your beautiful daughter, and what role model, what an example that you've become for her. And that has a ripple effect out to so many others,
I
because
100%.
you shine by example.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's so true. That's so true. And I feel that way. I feel that way with this book. This book is so amazing, because it definitely shows the examples of ladies who all can relate to the idea of being.
I think you lost your volume for some reason.
Are we good?
There you are. There you are. Yeah.
Everything okay?
Yes, we got it.
Should have put my phone on silent. I apologize about that. But honestly, like I was saying, I think this book does a great job with really showing the hard work that the women had to push through. A lot of the times people are rewarded. One of my favorite quotes is that people are rewarded for what they do in private. They're rewarded in public for what they do in private. And this book really does show that. It shows what the women were thinking. It shows their backgrounds and their past. And it really speaks to the truth on who they are today. Because now that I know them personally, I'm like, oh, as I'm reading it, I'm like, that explains Michelle's Camposano's, perseverance and hard work. That explains Layla's sweet nature and nurture and nature to love and to constantly just be supportive to those she comes in contact with. The book really does bring that out. Even for my story, talking about, how to just keep pushing through in those days where I truly wanted to give up. By nature, I'm not as strong as I come off. Like my nature is very fearful. That's why my relationship with God is so strong, because I can't do this on my own strength, And so as I read the book myself, I realized that, my mom's strength was such a powerful example for me to really hold on to during these months when I was in school. I had to rely on seeing, those days where my mom was like, we're not quitting, we're not stopping, even if on paper it says I'm not quitting. And that was the same example as me. I was like, even though I'm a single mom and my daughter's dad isn't currently here, I'm not stopping, and I think the book really does bring that out. So yeah, I feel where you're coming from. I was getting ready to go down a path and I'm like, let me try to keep it streamlined.
That's beautiful. And you shine by example, and that's every day as you put one foot in front of the other, it's that example that makes an impact, not just on your family, but on so many others. Then they see, wow, if she could do it, so can I.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
And our hats are off to, for those that are listening, if you haven't been exposed to what Helping Hands for Single Moms is all about, you can go to helpingandsforsinglemoms.org, and there's a lot of ways to get involved if you are in a position to help support, or if you were a single mom and saying, I don't know what to do and I need some help, be sure and reach out and find this. What would you say to a single mom that has just come to that place? She's just exactly in the shoes that you used to be in. What would you say to her? Maybe she didn't even know about Helping Hands yet.
And if she was in the same place that I was when Helping Hands for Single Moms came across my path, I think of that song. I'm not going to sing it, but it goes, ooh, child, things are going to get easier. Yeah. That song, I think of that. I think at that time in my life, if I can remember, if there was to be a musical playing in my background, that would be it. And it would be to tell that young lady that, child, things are going to get easier, and that the storm doesn't last, and I believe that, it's okay to feel how you feel. it's valid how you feel. It's real how you feel. But don't stay there. You know, you have to know that God will move the mountain, but you have to bring the shovel. And if Helping Hands with Single Moms comes across their paths or opportunity comes, they need to go for it, because this only works if they work it.
That's right.
Exactly what I would tell them.
Beautiful. You can't say it any better than that. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything you've done to showcase Heroes in Our Midst. I'm still in disbelief, and it's so surreal that I'm actually opening up to page, and I'm seeing my daughter and my friends and my family written in a book, and it's well written, and it's just a great book. So thank you, Becky, for everything.
Oh, thank you. I feel so blessed to be a part of this. And for all those that are listening, pay attention to this and to know that what a difference this is making, the impact in the world, because each one of us, I always feel that it's that one little drop and it ripples. Yeah. And it's your changes, your succeeding makes the difference for by far even more than we could ever imagine. So it's by standing up and shining the way you shine is making that impact that we need. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day for this interview. And my hat's off to you. Maybe one day I'll get to meet you in person.
That would be an absolute treat. Thank you so much for everyone who's taken the time to listen to as well and read the book.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.